Hello, this is Mr. Chupon. It's Mr. Chupon from TryGames.net, and I haven't done one of these in, I want to say, over a year. So hello. Welcome back to me, because I'm important here. We are looking at what was known as Saga in Japan, but got rebranded to Final Fantasy here, which is kind of weird, but I will say this. This is the first Final Fantasy game that I actually ever played, even though it's not really a Final Fantasy. This is for the Game Boy, the original Game Boy, and it offers a very, very different gameplay style than what we're used to from Final Fantasy. And because this was the first Final Fantasy that I ever played, and then I played Final Fantasy II for the Super NES, which we all know now is Final Fantasy IV, I was like, the hell is this crap? But for those unfamiliar, they did make a remake for the DS, which I don't believe ever came out in the United States. But here I'm going to select my main character, just by all around. So, the interesting thing about this is that you've got humans who level up, I should say normally, and I'll explain what that means. You've got, it's a little sexist here, the male human is stronger and the female human is faster, whatever. They've got mutants, which are your mage classes. They learn abilities as the game progresses, just through battle. And their stats also increase normally again, but their magic stats are more prone to increasing than their physical strength. So these guys, their strength levels up much more easily. These guys, their magic upgrades much more easily. Robots are completely dependent on what you equip them with. A little bit of an upgrade mentality. So you equip them with powerful weapons, they will increase in strength, they will increase in hit points. You equip them with armor, same thing, they'll increase in defense more so. Cannot use magic, period, the end. It's wasted on them. And then you've got monsters which eat the meat from monsters that you've defeated in order to change their form. So I'm going to start off with a human. Sure, but 4 letters as your max. And this is your dad. The whole story is that your dad is an adventurer, and he is giving you something that you don't know what it is. Take care of your mother. And there's a joke about him going out the window. So, years later, Butt has grown. Your father clearly hasn't come back, as evidenced by this line. The first one of these games on Game Boy was very poorly localized. This is a little better. Actually, this is good enough, I should say. I think they did a decent job considering the era during which it came out. I think in the early 90s it was localized for the United States. Mr. S, because again, 4 letters, so... So they did a decent job with it. They also did a good job of letting you know basic things like when you have upgraded your strength, I should say when your strength has increased, when your magic has increased, when your hit points have increased. So 77 Magi pieces, this is special rock. That's what my dad gave me, is this Prism Magi. But yeah, the first game, whenever you leveled up, well, I shouldn't say level up because there's no levels in this game. But when your stats increased, you didn't know. Just said you won the battle, and then you check your menu and, oh, hey, look, your stats increased. So this one actually tells you when your stats increase, and you'd think, brain dead, of course they should let you know. But alas, they did not. Okay, so your classmates are in a suicide mission. It's good to have reliable partners. Take 3 with you. So I'm going to go with the mutant female Going with the gluteal theme. Sure. Okay, I'm also gonna do a robot. And then I will choose a monster. I'll choose a weak monster. So, the way that monsters eat meat is, or I should say, the way that monsters upgrade. There's this whole chart if you go to GameFAQs. Let's call him Pimp because he's an imp. Pimp the Imp. Yay, yay! There's this whole chart about like the race that the monster who dropped the meat was, and then the relative stats of that monster, and the level of that monster. And again, this level is kind of an arbitrary thing because there are no levels in this game, but just kind of level of strength. In comparison with what the race and level and exact species of your monster is. So there's this whole like grid, and you can kind of predict what monster you're going to end up with if you eat a certain monster's meat. I never actually really looked at that. I just studied it, out of interest, and then promptly forgot half of what I learned. So, just to show you the mechanic, I'm sticking with just not looking at the thing. Good luck, bud. Alright, so I think this guy gives you something. Alright, so this is Ars's father. Ars's father is a fox. Ars is my mutant. Okay. Oh, let's probably save. 3 save slots. Very nice. I used to save in multiple slots and play around with, different monster combinations. Like I'd have the monster eat 1 piece of meat and then quit out and then load up another save and have him eat another piece of meat and see what comes up with it. So, your Magi here, this is Prism. Equipping them, you can only equip certain ones. This one tells you how much Magi is left in this particular world because there are multiple worlds in this game. Spoiler. So, the dude said there's 77 Magi. This world only has 6, so you know what you have to look for before you can move on. Let's see what each character comes with. Each character comes with items and weapons and armor. So, your humans come with a weapon and a piece of armor. Your mutants come with a weapon, a piece of armor, and a magic spell. Robot comes with Colt. These are passive abilities. Anything with a circle or an X, which I'll show you in a bit. X is bullshit. X means weakness, so you can learn a weakness to fire. If I am a mutant, I can learn a weakness to fire, meaning that if someone hits me with fire, I'm screwed. Why would you ever want to learn that? I don't know. That was part of the way that the game is designed, and fuck them. But there you go. Robots are immune to paralysis and poison, which is what O-Pa-Po means. The O is for immunity, and Pa-Po is paralyzed poison. And then this imp has just natural abilities, nail and sleep. Here's the other thing. This longsword has 50 uses before it just breaks and goes away completely. When a human does that, when a human uses it, that's it, you're done. If same thing applies for the mutant as well. Once that bow is used 50 times, it's gone. For a robot, actually, these are considered innate skills. So it's almost as if you are installing the weapon on the robot. So once his weapon goes down to 0, then it's still there, it's just depleted. So if you go to an inn and rest, it gets restored to 25. So basically you can I can unequip this sword from this guy and give it to the robot, and then he'll have that sword as an upgrade, and he can use it indefinitely as long as he recovers at an inn, anytime it goes down to 0. The trick to that is, anytime you equip or unequip something to a robot, that number of uses will chop itself in half. So, if I give the robot this sword, he's not going to have 50 uses, he's going to have 25 uses. Let's say I want to give it back to the human. Once I unequip it, that sword becomes 12, because it halves again. And so when I give it back to the human, he's only going to be able to use it 12 times. So you have to kind of be careful with, being liberal about, oh, I'm just gonna equip this thing, everything to the robot, and then like I'll just take it away from him and give it back to the humans. No, it doesn't work that way. Like the game will balance itself to make it so like you can't kind of abuse that. Monsters work in the same way. All these are innate abilities, so when they go down to 0, you rest at an inn, they go back up to the maximum count. You cannot equip anything to a monster, so if I try to give him this cure thing, it's not going to let me do it. No, nothing doing. Let me give the cure spell to this lady over here. Something that I like to do is, here is the shitty, one of many shitty things, here's another shitty thing, is that you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 open slots. Slots, in quotes, for your character. For mutants, innate abilities take up 1 slot. So let's say I left these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 slots open for perpetuity. Right? I've only got armor and these abilities. My mutant can learn up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 innate abilities, which sounds pretty cool until you realize that then that leaves 1 spot for armor and 1 spot for, or I could even unequip the armor if I wanted to. But it leaves 2 spots left over for equipable items if I unequip the armor, and oops, the mutant happens to learn a 7th spell, I've only got 1 thing left for equipable items, and then you don't have the flexibility to equip spell books or armor or other weapons that you might want to equip. So it's very restrictive. And that's the other shitty thing about this game. First is, why would you ever want to learn a weak... combine the 2 shitty things, learning a weakness and limited inventory, right? Let's say that I learn a weakness, and I learn multiple weaknesses. Now I have learned weaknesses instead of using those slots to equip items. So what I'm going to do now is equip the cure to at least give myself 3 equipable slots to preserve some of that flexibility. You learn spells just like that. You just learn them. Like, sometimes it's slow, sometimes it's fast, but all you do is just participate in battle, and randomly you will learn a spell or a natural ability. How do you learn new abilities when your slots are all filled up? Well, the last natural ability that is in that is in this list will get wiped away, and you can learn something else in place of it. Again, you can't control this. This is controlled by the game. So the good thing is that, okay, let's say you learn a weakness which really sucks, like a weakness to fire. Well, just keep that in the last slot right here, and the next time your guy learns an ability, it will replace that weakness with something else. Hopefully something good. So that's how mutants work. They are potentially the most fascinating characters in here because you can learn stuff, but you can also equip stuff, so you're very flexible. Monsters are very limited to what they come with, and robots, you can't do any magic with them. And humans, if I recall correctly, humans can't learn any abilities. It's everything that you equip, and that's it. Alright, so something that I've always liked to do because I'm anal retentive is anything that is not a command, I move to the bottom. Do the same thing for her, and I'm just going to switch them around. Anything that I equip that can be used in battle, I will put on top. Any abilities in the middle, and armor or no commands at the bottom. So that's why I'm going to move Paralyzed Poison to the bottom. Okay. I'll talk to the slime here. Something's going on outside. Okay. I need to talk to more people to get myself stuff. Hello, Mom. Remember, but do not be selfish, blah, blah, blah. Take a good rest. Okay, so that all she did was heal your hit points. Let's see if this guy over here has anything for me. Butterfly lady. Pimp! Don't be late for dinner. Okay. Is there anything here? Nope. Pimp's gonna be real late for dinner. Pimp is the imp, and Pimp's mother is a butterfly. Go figure. There is a cave up north. Thanks, dude! Let's see if there's anything else. This is a schoolhouse, I think, but let's see if Mr. Ass gives me something. Take care. Alright, thanks. Alright. Save anywhere. The other thing I used to do is have a dungeon save and have a safe save. The problem is that if I were to save let's imagine I only have one save slot. If I were to save in a dungeon in a precarious position where I had 0 items and my health was at 1, I'm screwed forever. The first game in this series had 1 save slot, so yeah, you were screwed quite often. Let's see how slowly the text scrolls if I just... okay. If I don't press anything. Mr. S joined. Alright, so now I'm on the adventure. I've got Mr. S. Once... Mr. S is an NPC. That's why he's this 5th guy. These people who come into these positions here will come and go as they please, per the story. So, I'm going to lose him. I could theoretically equip him with one of my items. Problem is, when I do that, he will take it with him. You cannot unequip an item that you equip to an NPC. That's to prevent you from taking an overpowered weapon that an NPC comes with. So, be careful with what you give NPCs. Let's see, so, memo. So this is, alright, it gives you information. Very rudimentary. Oh, great, thanks. Each Magi has its own power. Oh, okay, if you press down, there's more. 77, blah, blah, blah. So, that's pretty cool. So I'm gonna run around a little bit and get into a battle first. To show you why this is not a Final Fantasy game. Alright. It's turn-based so far so good. Like Final Fantasy, right? No. Imagine I had 27... well, imagine that I had 3 swords here. I could choose between the swords that I wanted to attack with, and then attack him with it. I'm going to choose to attack with bow. Well, let me use flame, because... oh, so here's the thing. Many spells have all-enemy and single-enemy variants. Flame is the all-enemy variant of fire. So, I press A here, and it says, this is going to attack the entire enemy. You sure about that? Yes, I am. Problem is that, let's say you attack an enemy that's strong to flame with this, along with this Ashigaru thing. That spell will bounce off that enemy and not do anything while hurting the Ashigaru. So, you don't have the flexibility of older Final Fantasy games where you could choose to attack with fire one or multiple enemies. It's just one spell for one enemy, one spell for everybody. So, it's weird that way. I'm going to use a Colt on this guy because, you know, guns. And let me use Nail. Or let me use Sleep. Mr. S is overpowered, so... okay. So, now this plays out in text. Mr. S attacks Ashigaru with Dissolve. There's an animation, tells you the damage. Damages. Ashigaru, so absorb. So the dissolve power is kind of like drain. So he was at full health. He's not going to absorb any health because that guy's at full health. All right, great. So Mr. S is overpowered. There's no way that I'm going to gain levels that way. So I'm going to relegate Mr. S to curing people. Any swords, I believe most swords with this icon, or at least long swords, specific swords, are strength-based. So, when you attack with this sword, the damage that you do is based on the weapon power as well as the wielder's strength. There are other swords, like rapiers, that are based on agility. So, that sword would do damage based on your character's agility and its own damage modifier. In using these items, they will increase the stat that they use. So if you use a longsword more, it will increase your strength, which will increase the damage that you do, which will encourage you to use more swords of this type. If you used a rapier, it would increase your agility. So this is sort of kind of like Final Fantasy II for the NES. And in this case, a bow, I believe, would raise your agility, and flame, if you use magic spells, that would increase your mana, which is your spell strength. So I'm gonna use flame. Colts, I think Colt might increase agility, but for the robot, remember now that his stats only increase when you equip stuff. So, for this guy, it doesn't matter what you use, it's not going to increase your stats. It's all about what you have equipped in the first place. So you could equip this guy and never use anything. Well, technically you can't, but let's say you could use a wait command and never use anything. The robot's strength is going to stay where it is. So, and I'm going to use sleep. And Mr. S is going to cure because I don't want him to damage anything. Blah, 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 blah. Attacks enemies with flame. So here's the other confusing thing, is that there's one Jaguar sprite on the screen, but there are multiple Jaguars. So I killed a Jaguar, but there are like 2 or 3 of them. So that's why the sprite's still there. Okay, so that's a single enemy attack. So there were 3 Jaguars. I killed 2 of them. There is 1 left. That is why, even though I killed Jaguars, the sprite is still there. And that's really confusing. Like if I remember Dragon Quest correctly, at the very least, I can use a bow now to increase your agility. And again, these stat upgrades come sporadically. Like, you have to keep using them. So grinding in this game is the worst thing, because you don't even know when you're going to get a level up. Or you don't even know when you're going to get a stat increase. It's just, you know, keep doing it until you see it. Cure the robot. So, yeah, it's a Dragon Quest. If there were 2 slimes, there were 2 slimes on the screen, if I remember correctly. And I'm talking about like Dragon Quest 4 or something like that. In this one, it's you have to pay attention to the count. All right, so I used a lot of gold, no stat upgrades. Just making sure. Yep, no stat upgrades. So, again, there are no levels. It's just like, okay, when you see your strength, and I'm pointing at my Game Boy as if you can see it, but your defense goes up, your agility goes up, your strength goes up, your mana goes up. There's no like levels, and your hit points go up separately. So you may be sitting there getting a whole lot of hit points, but your strength stays at 6. Now, I've never seen that happen. It's just theoretical, but there's a potential for bad balance in this game because of it. So it can get a little frustrating. I once had a playthrough when my mutant had like 80 mana, which is good, but ostensibly you want to get to 99 and everything, right? Had 80 mana and like 30 strength. And then there was another playthrough where I got the mutant all the way up to like 60 strength, but then she only had 60 mana. So it was like, it wasn't consistent, you know what I mean? It wasn't consistent through playthroughs, and that was a little disconcerting to me. By the way, I've played through this game maybe like 8, 9, 10 times. Just not because it's good, because it's not terrible, it's not great either. But just because I know it, and so I'm compelled to go through it, you know? Alright. So I'm holding down A to just pass through all this dialogue. Wouldn't it be easier to just say who's attacking? Okay, so I lost a guy. My main guy is down, so he's not going to gain any stats, and I'm pissed about that. Alright, so nail you, fucker. The thing about this game is that Zero just stuns you. Much like Lunar, after the battle... Oh, shit. Alright, there we go. After the battle, butts back up. And I'm just gonna give him a little touch of the bubbly. Gonna give her a little positive treatment, and we're good to go. So that's good about this, because sometimes you can get wiped out super fucking fast. And if your last standing character can manage to run away, and you can get to an inn, then you're fine. Oh, here we go. So I believe you can only get up to a maximum of 9 of each enemy type, and 3 different enemy types on the screen. So a maximum of 27 enemies. Again, only 3 different types. It's or maybe you can get up to more than 9 goblins or 9 whatever. I don't know, but it's weird. It's just like, it sort of makes sense, but it doesn't, and I don't know. Anyway, so I'm gonna dissolve. Oh, why do I want to do this? Okay, let me back up a little bit. Attack the goblin. Attack the goblin. Attack the Isugaru. Put the Isugaru to sleep, and then hit the skeleton with fire with overpowered Mr. Ass because skeletons are weak against fire. Mr. S attack skeleton with fire, weak against fire, 175. Oh shit. Missed. I don't think you have to hit in order to potentially increase stats. You just have to use it. So I'm gonna do flame here. Colt. Sleep that guy, and then Mr. Ass is going to cure a mutant. Okay, so that took out everybody. Let's see if I get a stat increase. I got a new longsword, but hit points went up because he got hit, and Arce's mana went up because she used Fire Spell. Great! Again, this just happened to happen. Like, if I did another playthrough like this, it probably wouldn't happen for another 10 minutes. Who knows? That's what makes the game really weird. So, I got an extra longsword, and this is a fresh new one. So, I could just give him this fresh one, but no, Butt has already used his longsword a couple of times. So, I'm gonna exchange, so he gets a fresh one. Buns is gonna get this longsword, and you'll see his hit points or strength or something else. You'll see that stuff increase in a second. Once I give him this longsword, it's going to go down to 23 uses. Now, you see that, right? His strength went up, his hit points went up. And it's gone down to 23 uses. That's fine, because if I go to an inn or go to recover, that 23 will become 25 again. So, the reason why I did that was the robot has an opportunity to restore the uses in his sword. The human does not. So I wanted to give the human the new one to maximize the amount of uses that I would get out of every item that I obtain. So let me cure Butt. I'm trying to increase my mutant's agility now. Oh, shit. It's the cursor is on memory, which is good because if you wanted to use the same attacks again, you just A through it. Let's keep on mashing on A. Alright. This game is really nasty about when you load a save, sometimes it'll throw you into battle. Like without like giving you time to go to your menu or whatever, it'll just load save, battle. Okay, so my mutant is gaining hit points, which is good, because usually that takes a long time for them. Alright, Mr. Ass, come on. Give me some help here. Restore. I haven't gotten meat yet. That's the other thing I wanted to show you. Right, so I'll go to town. I'll go back to my house. And so I believe the mother does act as an inn. Maybe she doesn't. Let's see. So if I talk to the mother, this should restore both Colt and Long to 25 uses, and it should restore Mr. S's to 15, 15, and 15, I think? And Pimp's stuff should go up to 30 and 15. That's how inns work. Inns also work where they will charge you 1 gold piece per hit point to recover. So right now, everyone's full. If I go to an inn right now, I could rest for free, which has a side effect of restoring these abilities. So if you have someone, like if your mutant learned Cure, you could cure everybody, go to the inn, rest for free, and that Cure would go back up to 15. So you're basically getting free rides, which is kind of cool considering how hard the game is otherwise. So it's a nice little thing that you get to abuse that I think I deserve to abuse. Okay. All right, Mom. Take a good rest. Oh, shit, not again. Alright, so let's see. Hit points are up because they were. Let's see what Mr. S looks like. No, she does not act like an inn. So, better be careful now. We don't get to an inn until we beat the first boss. I don't think so. I need to be careful with Mr. S's abilities now. And so I'm going to go bird-bird-er, hurdy-gurdy, farna-farna-farna. And I think I find armor in this cave, so what I'm gonna do is give it to the robot. Long. Oh, this enemy is called a gang. So when you defeat 3 gangs, there's 1 gang left. That's good grammar, right? Alright, let's do long. I'll do sleep to put the whole group to sleep, hopefully, and I will do dissolve. Dissolve only hits one enemy. Fire hits all enemies in a group. I don't want to take out the entire group. I want to give my guys a chance to use their abilities and then, you know, increase their stats. So I'm electing not to use fire for Mr. S because, again, he's overpowered. Long. Let's see, roll this time. Long. Nail. And I'm going to cure Arse. Yay. Alright. GP instead of Gil. Oh boy. Random battles are great. Okay. At some point, I'm going to stop this and just use Mr. S because I want to get to the monster meat and show you what that's all about. So, but for now, dissolve. Butt punch. Oh boy. So punch is a really, really useless weapon until you get like really good stats, and then it's surprisingly powerful. It's weird like that. Okay, I'm running out of cures. This is a little bit. Okay. Butt's strength up. Great. So we're leveling. Oh boy. You see that? I took one step, and I was besieged by a pack of 4 Jaguars. Sleep, bitch. Alright, dissolve, please. So 3 Jaguars left. 2 Jaguars left. Ugh. Oh, he's down. 1 Jaguar left. Alright, so I basically wasted Butt's ability to gain stats, which sucks. Yeah. Again, these guys are gaining faster than I'm used to, so I don't know. Okay, so I'm in dungeon now, so I'm gonna save in a different slot, not screw myself over. If you press B, your NPC gives you advice. Not useful all the time. But. Cure. Okay, good. So I have another cure, and so this bronze shields are disposable, so you have to use a shield in battle. I'm going to equip it to him to increase his defense. And you have to, so what you do is you use them, and it either defends yourself or defends the entire party, depending on what kind of shield it is. So this is unlike most Final Fantasy games where you have a defend command. This is literally, no, if you don't have a shield, you can't defend. So, you know, fuck you, buddy. Dissolve. Alright, 3 Jaguars left. Oh boy. 2 Jaguars left. Oh boy. Oh, this is not good. I'll use Flame. Sleep. And I'm gonna use his second to last cure on Butt. Okay. Oh, thank goodness. Meat! No meat. Alright, this is being weird. It's not giving me any meat. Let's save again. There's this really nasty dungeon called the Nasty Dungeon. I'm not kidding. It's called Nasty Dungeon. If you go into the memo, it's called the Nasty Dungeon. Let me see if it says that on the save. No, somewhere it says... there's somewhere where it says where you are. But it's not here. Anyway, so it's called the Nasty Dungeon, and, like, brutal enemies there. So I would literally save every 2 steps I took. And if I was besieged by an enemy that I could not handle, or I was near death, I would just reset the Game Boy and reload the save. Alright, the bow and the hammer. So I'm going to give... I got into the habit of giving my robot things early just to pump up his stats, so I'm going to give him the hammer for strength, and I'm going to give him the bow for agility. Everything else, then I'm going to give the Butt, because I don't want him to feel left out. No. Okay. Whew. So yeah, I would get into the habit of, like, I got treasure, I'll save. I'll walk 2 steps, I'll save. I walked another 2 steps, I'll save. And just to get through that freaking nasty dungeon, because it was really nasty. Like, really nasty. Alright, we'll use longsword in this guy. Flame everybody. Let me Colt Jaguar. Sleep Jaguar, that's the toughest guy. Alright, let me dissolve this. Let me fire the skeleton just because. Oh, sorry, the skeleton. Not the skeleton, but the skeleton. Alright, but... Oh, also, if you attack an enemy that's already dead, or if you've selected the command to attack an enemy that's already dead, they'll do nothing. So, there's none of that modern, like, oh, let's, what do you call it? Let's automatically move on to the next. So it's, you know, it's the one thing that, you know, Golden Sun did that I thought was really dumb because it was a modern game. And the funny thing is, when I first wrote the review for it, I was deluded. I was like, oh, yeah, it's okay, yeah, it's strategy. And it's like, no, that's dumb. If I was in a party and my friend killed a monster, I would not try to attack that monster that was already dead and be like, what do I do? It's really stupid, really archaic mechanic, and I'm glad that they've gotten rid of it. Sleep. Okay, so that's one Jaguar down, and the robot is now overpowered. Alright, I'm gonna save here. And I'm gonna keep fighting this guy until I get meat. No, I don't think so, no. Okay, so long bow, long sleep, pure, nice. I just don't, see, I don't want Mr. S to take up that, so let's see. Oops. Which one's Pimp? Oh, Pimp's the monster. Alright, so I've basically screwed up already. So I'll be right back. What I'm going to do is reset the game, because this is already a failed effort, because I need the monster to be alive in order for them to eat meat. I'll be right back. Alright, we're back. Let me try again. Give me that magi, son. Alright, so long flame, Colt, long, nail, and cure. Alright, let's hope he doesn't hit my monster. Okay, good. No damage because my monster's weak. Okay, meat. So, here's the thing. Great. I got a mana upgrade. But not great. I wanted that meat. So so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to save in the 3rd slot, reset the Game Boy, and fight him again to see what the meat does to Pimp. So I'll be right back. Alright, back again. Let's try it again. Give me meat, please. And the thing is, it's random. I mean, it's not truly random, but it's random enough that it's going to be hard to tell, like, am I going to get this meat or not? So, cure imp. Ow. Good. No! Okay. So, again, a stat increase. What I want, but it's not meat. Be right back. We're back. Let's try it again. Yes, I used to sit here and turn off and turn on the Game Boy Switch. It's off and on. And when I put it in my Game Boy Advance, it was even easier because it was closer to my thumb. So I just keep doing this and doing this and doing this until I got the meat. So hammer time. Okay, come on. Let's go. Let's go. Okay. Oh my god! Seriously, give me meat! Resetting. Back again. Tag team back again. Ah. Alright, let's try this. Let's do this again. Long flame. Long sleep. Cure Pimp. Come on. Alright. Good. Give me some meat, please. Alright, you know what? I'm gonna save this because this is a good. That's 2 gains in 1. I'm gonna save that over the 3rd save, and I'm gonna reset again and try for that meat. And we're back. Try it again. Persistence, persistence. All right, let's go, buddy. Oh boy. Stay sleeping, son. Give me meat. Oh my god. One more, and if not, we'll just move on. Back. Again. Stop trying to hit me and hit me. Let's go. This is not a game for someone of my age anymore because I don't have that much time. This is a game for 5th grade me. 6th grade me, 7th grade me, even high school me, but, alright, that's it, you know what, screw this, I'm gonna reset, I'm gonna go with the bottom save because I had a hit point increase and my mutant learned an immunity, so, we'll be right back, and we're back. We're going to continue from this save because F-U-K-K-U, this is great. This is great because if I want to come back to my old town, it's like, fuck you, go back. It's like, wait, what? What if I'm in trouble? Alright, so now we get to see how an inn works. Oh, that's Dad. Is it? First, I'm going to go to an inn. So I owe 7 gold because one of my characters is down by 7 hit points from his max. So I'm gonna stay, and what that's gonna do is, aha, her flame is restored to 15. His weapons are all restored to 25, and Piump is restored as well. So that's cool. Now let's take a look. I did a fair amount of fighting, and I got 1,250 gold. Let's go buy something. Let's buy a weapon. 50 gold, okay. Yeah, for these weapons, alright. 400, alright, getting a little up there, but, you know, agility. I want a whip, so I would buy one, but I'll, you know, this is to increase mana. This psionic knife. Robots cannot equip it. And kick, which is also 1,400. Why is kick that much? I don't know. But we know what you want from this store, but I want to show you the item prices. Alright, so you can get a helmet. And this gold, and all of a sudden they just sell something that's 3,000 just randomly there, just to let you know, hey, you can't afford this. But I want people to be up on their defense, so I'll buy some gauntlets and helmets. Let's equip. Hello, sir. And I usually reserve the bottom 3 for armor. So I'm going to give him, and armor directly increases defense. That's the only way that you can increase defense for a human. And she will get a bronze gauntlet. Can she do a helmet? Yeah, she can do a helmet. So for now, she'll get the Holy Trinity of a gauntlet, armor, and a helmet. And the robot will also get a gauntlet. He's at 10 for now. I'll leave him be, because he's high enough. Now let's get some weaponry. And what did I want? A whip. That's what I wanted. So I want Butt's agility to increase. So I'm gonna give him that whip. And do I want? I don't have enough gold for a psionic knife, so I'm just gonna get another. I can get a whip also for my mutant. So I'm gonna do this. Now it's looking cluttered, right? So it's like, bleh. So what I'm gonna do is go to the abilities menu and sort, because you know That's the thing to do. So right now you will notice that I now only have 2 slots available for natural abilities. This immunity down here, and this flame. I would like a 3rd one, so I'm going to unequip Cure from her, which leaves me without a Cure option in battle. It's okay for now. I'll deal with it. But that's something to be aware of. This is where it gets tricky. Like, maybe it's strategic in planning or whatever. I just think it's restrictive. Like, even 10 item slots would have been nice. Ooh, there's Dad. Nope, it's not. This guy looks real funny. No, I don't, dude. I'll go myself, though. Shit, you just gave me a clue. Alright, so I'm gonna save here, and hopefully I will run into a monster party that gives me good meat. So I can actually show you. It's really weird, I haven't gotten meat at all in this playthrough. This guy's not gonna give me meat. Whip. Whip. Long. Sleep. Punch stops doing damage after a certain level of defense. Like, just period, the end. So most of these guys aren't going to do anything to me. Whip, whip, long, nail. Gang is sleeping. Gang fell. Winded the whip means you've paralyzed the guy by way of whip. But it's max HP gained. Alright, so we're gonna save, because you know what? It's not every day that you get a stat increase. Especially not in this freaking game. I've been really lucky so far. I think, if my memory serves correctly. Right, all these monsters love key. There are many different worlds in this. Next world is Asura's Desert. Next to it is Giant's World, sure. He has the power to heal. Alright. I used to think that this sprite was just a potato head with a mustache. Clearly it is a lady. But when I was a kid, I thought her arms were part of the mustache, and her torso was Potato Head's nose. I don't know why I thought that. Alright, I'll heal you. Okay, all done. Do you know anything about the Magi? What will you do then be a god? No way. So you collect all the Magi, you become a god, and it's like, oh, abuse of power. It's like the Triforce. It's like anything else. Bah. Wait. People say that they're Magi and the relics of the ancient gods. 4 east and 3 south from the big rock. 4 east, 3 south. 4 east, 3 south. Let's remember that. 4 east, 3 south. 4E, 3S. So, we've healed. I have hit points. Does she act like an inn? No, she doesn't. Okay, so she just heals hit points. So I'm going to save here. 4 east and 3 south from the big rock down there. Alright, so... what's the biggest threat to me now? Jaguar. Let me flame it. Coat the spider, and nail the skeleton. Which sounds wrong. Actually, no. That makes no sense because now the skeleton's dead. This is really exciting TV, I'm sure. I once had this guy in my class. He was not a friend. He was actually an asshole. But he saw me playing this and wanted to check it out. So when one of your party members dies, like if Butt falls, it's gonna say Butt fell, right? You have 4 party members plus 1 potentially. So if it says Butt fell, the game is not over. He thought the game was over, and so he just turned it off and handed it back to me, and I'm like, good. Anything that makes him think that his game is over and that he has less time to play it, then, you know, because I did not want him to fucking play that game, because fuck that guy. Whip, whip, bow. Oh shit, if I get meat. If they attack Pimp, Pimp is dead. So slowly but surely I am building up Arce's agility, but... that's risky. Alright, whew, thank God. Butt's agility up. Great, okay, so that's good. I want to cure Pimp. And maybe cure Arce. There's a lot of grinding to get a cure book in this game. Cure books, I believe, are 6,800 gold. I'm at 600. So I don't think I'll be getting a cure book anytime soon. Whip. Colt. Nail. Alright, so at least the one. Oh boy! Yeah, I'm not getting any meat. This is being very strange. 4 east, 3 south. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. So let me save in the dungeon save here. This will be the last thing that we go through before I cut off. I'm getting into this rather soon. I usually grind for gold before actually even coming here. Those lizards are bananas. Like, sometimes 8 of them come at you and they just tusk, and you're dead. So, you know, great, good game, GG. Alright, lizard died. Okay, that lizard's paralyzed. Okay. Okay, thank goodness. But no meat, of course. So, I'm saving it because I don't know if there's some hidden meter. I don't know. Oh, shit. Oh, also, if I elect to run, it's 1 or nothing. Like, if I elect to run, everyone's gonna try to run, and if they fail, like, you're open for the entire battle. So running is not advised. Oh, maybe I'll just go ahead and die and show you what happens. Alright, skeleton's dead. That dude's passed out. Hit him. And hit him. It'd be great if a skeleton gave me meat. Because all monsters give you meat. But the skeleton has no meat. So, let's see. This is so weird that I'm getting no meat. Nope. Along this guy and sleep. Alright. There we go! Alright, so he's gonna eat it. Imp changed to skeleton, so now I'm a skeleton. And guess what? That means I'm weak to fire. But apparently I'm impervious to weapons, which is not true. But, oh, also his attack is punch, so great. I've basically inherited a shitty monster. That's right, though. This is for science. Education, for your fulfillment, all one of you who are watching, and that one is probably just me, but whatever. Alright, so cure that up. So I received the whip, so what am I going to do? A third whip, why not give it to Robot, who now has double-digit agility. Oh boy. Whip. Flame, please. Whip, and I guess I'll punch the goblin. No damage? Right, so it's useless, right? Yeah. Please give me some meat. Okay. I don't want the skeleton. I should have stayed with the imp. Very interesting way of showing like what's underneath the ceiling or what's behind a wall. This little animation. Empty. That sounds like someone's been through here. Oh. So yeah, this is, you know, clearly you can see how this is different from a traditional Final Fantasy and why there would be a certain amount of confusion if you played this game and you were expecting one thing and you got this. Oh look, I did 1 damage with punch. That's fucking great. Oh boy. Oh shit. Oh god. Okay. Please just kill them fast. Alright, one last one. Go down. Okay, you're good. Alright, I'm gonna Skeleton chased a fungus. Look at that. I'm a mushroom. And my only thing is punch. So, don't take this the wrong way. Later in the game, there's some pretty kick-ass monsters. Just right now it's full of shit. So let's see. She now has ice and flame. And I still value those more than I do the immunity to paralysis, so I'm going to keep that at the bottom. Yeah, I think we'll go with that. Let's see what's in this room. Are these empty treasure chests or... Empty, yep. Ow. Whip. Ooh, here's what I'll do. I'll ice the lizard. Ice is a single group spell, not a multi-group spell, unlike Flame, which attacks everything, so I'll leave ice there. I'm gonna whip this guy, and punch this guy. Alright, so that's 1 down, 2 down, 1 goblin left. Alright, so the mushroom's punch is stronger than, I'll eat this meat anyways. Change to Toad. Great, so now I'm weak against ice. Because, all cold-blooded animals are weak to ice, and he has tongue. It's kind of gross. Alright, so it's all empty. Save here. Oh, right. I think I was supposed to go through the right side. Shit. Oh, boy. Lizards. Ice. Whip. Tongue. So that's 3. Still 3. Still 3. 3 down. You're gone. Alright. Yes. Now I'm a lizard, but actually... these, just look at this. A lot of these monsters have 15 uses of something. That's it! No other, just one thing! This is not a balanced product. Let's put it that way. Oh boy, this is tough. There are 8 of them, so if they get the jump on me, so I'm gonna have to just try to fucking... Oh boy. Okay, I'm just gonna hope that... Okay, good. It's not doing any damage. I'm strong enough. Alright. You can see that when you get a strong enemy and there are 8 of them, and they all have high agility, and they just rail on you. Flies meat. Okay. That's kind of gross, but that's what a lizard would eat, right? Goblin is super weak. Look at that. Oh, boy. Nope. I was supposed to go to the left side, so I just wasted all that time. Let's go to the right, go to the left. Let me save it here, because... if I die, which can happen. But then again, I also want to show you what happens if I die. Alright, so this is tough. We've got 7 enemies. 2 skeletons, 3 goblins, 2 flies. So, what's the best course of action here? I would say... use flame. Kill the goblin. See what happens. I think a fly is about 45 hit points, so... her flame should take the flies out. 70, 30, okay. Alright, we're good. Alright, great. And she got a mana boost. Great, she's doing good. She's doing not bad. For not grinding, she's not doing bad. Alright. So we know she's fast enough to, or we know everyone's strong enough to not take damage from the fly, so I'm not worried anymore. See, this is pretty good. This is a good place to be, because it's basically free gold, free meat opportunities, and free level stat up opportunities. Come on, eat that. Slime. Slime's a good one. Slime is a good one. It's one of the first available classes, but I wanted to show you the gamut. Weak against fire, yes, but he can drain hit points. So, again, it's stupid because he only has 15 of them, or she. But you know. All right. So, thank goodness. Here. Save here, and what I'm going to do is to alleviate the damage that Butt is receiving, I'm going to, I'm going to rearrange my guys. So, select goes into this mode, Buns is going to go first. There you go. Should be in a better spot now. Now I'm a robot. 6 lizards. That's tough. Whip, whip, ice, dissolve. So that's 5 lizards. Alright, we're good. We're good. Goodbye. I'm gonna stick with the slime for now. See if we can defeat this cave. Or these ruins, so-called. I'm up to I'm up to 2,800 gold, so, you know, maybe we'll be in a good position to get a nice weapon or a cure book or something by the time we're done with this. Or at least with minimal grinding. Alright, so let's get rid of the Jaguar as fast as possible. Gang doesn't pose really much of a threat. Ice the Frog, because Ice Frog, because they're weak to ice. There you go. So at least if you get a monster that you haven't seen before, if you become a monster that you haven't seen before, you can get a preview into what its abilities and weaknesses are. So that's kind of cool. Let's do this again. Whip that mushroom. That sounds really gross. Ignite. Goodbye. Nope. No thank you. I've already been a toad. Oh, see, 1 step. Nice. Fly's weak against ice as well. So you could theoretically get yourself into a situation where you buy the wrong weapons, and you buy too many of them, and they don't do enough damage. Agility up and max HP up. Very nice. And he's at a 7. These guys are doing decently. But yeah, you can get yourself into a situation where you buy too many of the wrong type of weapons, spend all your gold on them, and equip them to humans so that they actually run out of uses completely, and then get stuck with not enough gold to buy new weapons, and not enough uses to take your human through a dungeon or whatever you happen to be facing at the time. And so you basically assed out. Which is why it's important to really groom other classes like mutants and monsters and robots who do have abilities that can be restored by staying at an inn. I would say that if you're really lucky with mutants, like really lucky with their stat upgrades, like mutants are just better than humans in that regard because they can learn things that can be healed and they have unique abilities. But, you know, obviously they don't have as much flexibility because, you know, because you need to save some item slots open. But they're also less expensive as a result. Oh, somebody's here, take the Magi and run. These treasure chests are going to be empty because that's what they were stealing from. Run, bitch, run! Okay, so here's some Magi. These don't do anything. They're just things that you have to collect. But, yep. Nothing. Alright, so I've got 4. Remember, Prism before told me that there were 6 Magi in this world, so 6 more other than Prism, so a total of 7. 3 left. Okay, great. Something tells me that those are the guys that have the 3 Magi. Open it quick. Those big doors require Magi to open, so. We are guardians, came to hold back Asura's plans, but we failed. Asura's men took the Magi. Okay, so these guys are not the guys we just saw. These guys were kicked in the ass by those guys. Oh boy. Alright, Toad and the Fungus. Let's make quick work of the fungi. Ice the Frog. And hope the fungus doesn't hit us too hard. We're at an hour, almost, at this point, or more, because I'm going to edit out the resets to save some time, so I'm going to cut it off after this, but this is the Final Fantasy Legend, not a Final Fantasy game, it's its own thing. I may return to this and make this a Let's Play or whatever, but dead. Surprised Nintendo didn't censor out that dead, because they're all against like death and darkness and shit, just kid friendly. But ice dissolve. All right. Bun's attacks. Good, sir. Actually, I won't have the opportunity to come back for a Let's Play because I'm going to visit Japan with Melanie in 2 days. So I'll be out for 2 weeks. No! Final Fantasy Legend! Don't play it! Or, you know, play it if you need a toilet bowl game or something, you know. If you have a Game Boy Advance SP lying around or an old DS. No, sorry. Old DSs don't play Game Boy games. Sorry. If you have an SP lying around and you've got nothing, really have nothing better to do, then sure, play this one. I think this is better than its sequel, and it's definitely better than its prequel. So, FFL2, Final Fantasy Legend 2, or if you read Japanese, Saga 2, in stores, on eBay. Adios. TryGames.net.